Oh, a hood.
Like everything you're wearing, they won't get through.
Okay.
Your hands they would get, but they're gonna go for your face if they go for anything.
Okay.
So you can put this hood on.
Oh, okay.
So that might, I don't know how you can use your camera under that, but okay.
I'm here with Carolyn Christensen.
That's my
Maiden name?
maiden name. My married name is Essence.
Essence.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Essence.
Or Essence is the proper way, but I don't pronounce it the French way because I'm not fancy, but it is technically Essence.
Do you speak French?
Like I used to. I took French immersion.
Then you got married and that was
But
it.
I just, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. So.
Well, I'm here with Carolyn Essence. Or Essence.
Very classic.
And yeah, so she's got this little mask thing. Oh boy.
Now I'm safe.
You know, you're safe. I like that. So she just told me that, okay, I was trying to relate a story to you in the vehicle about how I had this traumatic experience and all of a sudden my camera went dead, which I believe was God sending down a beam of light so that you wouldn't like try to assassinate me with the knowledge I was about to give you. Because I was telling the camera this. It's weird that I'm talking
the
to
wasp story. No.
It's you say it's a wasp. She says it's a wasp
It's a
story.
wasp for sure. Was it a little gray?
I don't.
Possibly
Well, as a kid,
yeah.
it looked big.
Sure.
It looked like out of.
But it was a nest. It wasn't just like a cluster of bees.
No, it was a
It
nest.
was for sure wasps.
There wasn't stuff around I could see, and he decided, oh, I'm gonna take this bat. This is my friend Michael. Thanks, Michael. Bullock. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say that out loud, right? But anyway, he decided to take the stick and he decided to hit it, and it fell. It looked like it fell, and we ran. I got stung in the mouth. I got stung everywhere.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
So since then, I was always like, oh God, you know.
Yeah.
So we started talking very briefly because I think I saw one of your beards.
Yeah, my bee beards, yeah.
And I was like, that.
I do those for the Honeybee Center with their festivals, yeah.
I was like, that's fun. You know, no big deal. And that's so, I think it's fun. It's good TV.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I can even, I teach basic beekeeping, and it's always the thing that people are the most nervous about.
Okay.
So I use bee venom therapy to treat an old injury that I have. So bee venoms, it's really anti-inflammatory. So I'll go out and take a bee and I'll sting myself in my wrist, and that's a therapy for me. That's a true therapy.
Yeah.
And so just to show people the process,
Right.
how the sting works, the bee dies when she stings, so she doesn't want to sting you.
Yeah.
It's not in her best interest.
Of course.
So and as you experienced with the wasps, although wasps are a little more offensive, bees are only defensive. So they're only going to sting you if you're attacking their hive.
Gotcha.
So if you're standing here, you know, they might land on you. They just think you're a flower.
Here they are.
See, this is a wasp.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a wasp. And you can tell she's a wasp because she's bright yellow. Where I'll show you a bee's more of a golden color, like more blacky golden. Whereas the wasp has these prominent dark black stripes with the bright orange, or with the bright yellow.
Do bears like wasps?
I
I only asked that because I used to read a lot of
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
See, that's bees. And yeah, I know, right? We're just myth busting today. So the wasp, or the bees, they like the honey, but they also like the brood. They like the protein. They actually eat the bees.
Oh.
Yeah, so they like both.
So that whole time we're sitting here watching him eating honey with Christopher Robin, really he's probably snacking down on some bees.
They're in it for the protein. Yeah.
You can just film me. Just point it at my face. You're okay. You can.
Okay.
See, now this is interesting.
I don't know.
You can
I'm
hold it.
really out of my whelm here.
Wow. Just.
I'm worried that it's gonna sting me. Technology scares me.
Technology scares her. Bees do not.
There you go. It's
Hi,
like a
folks.
glove.
You're watching Find You in the Valley. It's a new show. We're This is cool. All right. Okay. So, what do I look like?
You look
I'm
like
kind of curious.
a beekeeper.
If I see. Oh,
You
wow.
look like a professional. Can you see in my glasses?
Yeah, I saw a little bit.
Yeah. At this time of year, we would typically suit up.
Yeah.
When there's a nectar flow, when the flowers are in bloom and the bees have lots of nectar, they're really gentle. They're super happy. They get a little cranky on cold days when there's no nectar. So our nectar flow ended at the beginning of August this year.
Okay.
So they've been cranky for a couple months. But I've already been in them, and they were super gentle. They're happy. They're bringing in pollen, which is incredible.
Oh.
It's really good for them, and they seem pretty happy.
When you say bringing in pollen, Oh, sorry, yeah.
I'll show
nectar. You say nectar? That's the same thing as pollen?
No, so the plant has two things. For the plant to pollinate, pollen has to go from one plant to another. So the flower lures the bee there with nectar. That's the sweet reward. So that when the bee lands on the flower, she sticks her head into the nectary gland to get the nectar, puts that into her honey stomach. She's got two of them. One of them is for honey. She puts that in there, and she consequently gets covered in pollen. And so she's got little rakes on her legs. So she combs herself and she packs them onto her back leg, onto a hair called a corbicula.
Yeah.
And that's where she flies around. So I'll show you, because there's tons of pollen coming in, so I can actually show you what that looks like.
Oh, no way.
And then when she flies to the next flower for the next nectar reward, some of that pollen falls off and that pollinates the flower.
Oh, cool. Oh, this is exciting.
This is what's going to stop us from getting stung today.
Okay.
This is a smoker. So bees talk a lot through pheromone. This is going to be so much information. Bees talk a lot through pheromones. So when you crack a lid, they would be transmitting alarm pheromones saying someone's attacking us. The smoke, it's a really cool smoke. If you put your hand out, you won't feel anything. It's not hot, doesn't hurt them. That blocks them from transmitting that alarm pheromone.
Oh, I see.
So
That's the smoker.
that's good. So these are all wrapped up for the winter, but there's one here sitting out, so we'll open that one.
Do you just kind of keep a chill vibe as you go up? Is it?
You got to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty aware of your energy. So if you go in there and you're distracted, if it's your first year and you're kind of nervous, you're gonna get stung a lot more. But anyway, so here, if you can look down here, she's got sort of dark orange pollen sacs on her back legs.
And what? Okay, so she's brought that pollen in.
She's brought that pollen in, yeah.
I see.
So she probably has some nectar. Those guys are fighting.
Fighting over her?
Well, this time of year, sometimes there'll be robber bees trying to rob this colony's honey stores and take it back to her own colony.
Gotcha.
So all foragers are females.
Hi, guys.
But you look, see, they're transferring their honey.
Yeah. No way.
They regurgitate it back and forth a lot before they store it, which is where some of the magical enzymes come from in honey.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the entrance is on this side, which is nice. You can stand there.
Okay. You want me to go around you?
Nope, you're good right where you are.
Okay.
Ooh, lots of
no
bees at this
way.
point. So there you go.
So cool. Now, folks, I never thought I'd be this close to this many bees ever in my whole life.
So I can't open the brood nest because it's too cold.
Right.
We want at least 15 degrees to break up that cluster.
I see.
Because there's eggs and larvae and pupa in there.
Yeah.
And they like to keep that at about 32 degrees.
I see. So they're busy working.
I can pull out a honey frame.
I don't know where the goodness is. So how does that work? I should know this. With all the information that we have about honey and how many times I've had it with peanut butter.
Oh, it's so good with peanut butter.
I should know how honey comes out of them and into our mouths. How's that?
Yeah, so they regurgitate it back and forth like we saw there.
Yeah.
And then eventually they regurgitate it into a cell.
Yeah.
Like a little honeycomb cell, which I'll show you.
Yeah.
And they fan their wings and they dehydrate it from a fairly high moisture content down to about 17-18%.
Yeah.
And then they cap it over and that's honey. That's all it is. It's just nectar dehydrated and regurgitated.
No way.
So you're lucky you got a nice sunny day here.
No kidding.
We haven't had a lot of these this fall.
Oh wow, look at that. That is wild.
So under here is your honey.
Cool. I'm gonna pause and take a photo. That is so neat. So 5 years, you've started a business and selling honey like crazy.
Yeah, I do. I focus on livestock.
Yeah.
And I had a host to hive program which I gave most of my customers away, which I might pick back up again next year because I'm going to be doing this full time for the first time next year.
No.
So I had a day job managing bees for Kwantlen University.
Yeah.
We had 400 hives with them, and so I've just left them, and I'll just be working my own bees full time next year. So
well, congratulations.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's going to be under the name
The Honest to Goodness Farm Company.
The Honest to Goodness
Farm Company.
You heard it here first. The Honest to Goodness Farm Company. And honest to goodness, I never thought I'd ever be this close to some bees.
You're
Get
doing
it?
really well. You're super calm.
Is it? Okay,
Oh, yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, look at this little guy. There's a little, you can't see this right now, but there's a little bee, and he's just chilling out right on the camera.
Yeah. So these are all wasps. This is perfect.
Oh,
So
totally
these
different thing.
bright yellow ones are wasps.
Okay, I'm gonna come over to you.
So you can see a really clear difference between wasps and
Okay. Yeah, let's go over here, little man. I gotta call him Ralph.
I'm gonna try not to be in the shade here. So these bright yellow ones, this is perfect. On my finger's a honeybee, and up above it is a wasp. So you see the difference. Hey, they're sort of more of a golden color, whereas the wasp is a bright yellow.
Yeah.
Honeybees
Wild.
are nice kind of golden. They're kind of fuzzier too, like they're like puppies. They're really sweet. The wasps I'm not super keen on, but
There's in such close proximity, and you have wasps here. Do they make honey as well?
they don't act at all like a honeybee colony. They do forage. They're pollinators, not to the extent that honeybees are or a lot of our native bees are,
Right.
but they will pollinate. And the proximity, there's 1 to 5, 21 colonies in this yard, which is a commercial yard would maybe have 40, and then to have in your backyard you usually have less than 10. So it's somewhere in the middle, but this is a 100-acre property, farmed permaculture, and we planted a ton of bee forage here.
Wow.
So we've got acres of clover. Everything between everything is clover, which is a really, really good bee plant. And then I've started a pollinator conservation area on the other side of the property, just across from Thunderbird Stadium there. So that'll be more focused on native pollinators.
Yeah.
And it'll be focused on times of year where there's not a lot of forage, like right now.
Huh. Well, I had to ask her about what she meant by a pollinating yard. And lo and behold, you can actually grow a yard like, I guess, clover? Of clover.
Yeah, one of them.
And I guess there's a variety of
Like
other
a
types
lawn
of...
alternative.
A lawn alternative, essentially. And you can have that around your house. You don't have to water it. You don't have to cut it. And it's fantastic for the environment in the sense that it's going to help out the bees. And therefore you're pollinating different areas, and hey, more plants, more air. I'm thinking that's a good thing.
Even if you have a ditch outside your house, you can plant it on that ditch strip there. You can plant it really anywhere that you don't run around on all the time barefoot. I would say you're safe to plant it.
I think that's something that's going to happen. I think it's going to be trending really quickly. But we'll come back. We're definitely going to come and check out what she's got going on at her place. As you know, I have a fear of bees. But this happened to my kid as well. And so I was just asking Carolyn about, I'd love to be able to sort of get my kid to get over his fear of being stung, because he has almost the same identical fear that I had.
We get a lot of requests for sort of a hive demo.
Yeah.
So we've been thinking about doing once or twice a year an open house.
Okay.
So we would just invite the public out and do just different bee demos. It'll be free, just a way of educating the community on how honeybees work, a little bit about how pollination works, and then kind of to teach them that they're not that scary. And the difference between bees and wasps, because there's always some
That's a big
confusion
one.
there. Yeah.
I like that. That's going to change a little bit about how I look at the environment around me.
Yeah, anything, the wasps will typically build a paper nest, so it'll be that gray sort of round sort of circle, kind of the eave of your house or something like that.
What's a bee's nest look like then?
Which kind of bee?
So a honeybee.
A honeybee. Well, so honeybees are farmed animals. They're typically domesticated. They can swarm, and we do have some feral colonies here, and they'll be inside a crevice, so inside a fallen log. Typical places that they nest are probably, they might end up in the siding of a house or in a chimney. But if they can get into a tree, they love inside trees.
So I go from completely afraid
To be better.
to like texting on Instagram to visiting for the first time. I'm telling you, this half African from BC out with some bees. Okay, you'd think I'd be, and here I am. So it's good times. You've been watching Find You in the Valley?
Wait, I have a question for you.
Oh, she's got a...
Okay, let me take the camera.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you afraid of bees now?
Actually, I kind of love them.
Aw, there we go. What a happy ending.
I totally do. I didn't even want, I kind of want to get closer and like, I don't know what it is, or I want to pet them.
Because you stay calm, it's really therapeutic, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's it. It makes me feel good.
And you're not thinking about anything else. You're just focused on the bee.
Yeah.
It's like meditative.
Yeah. Oh, did I break that?
Nope.
Okay. Well, have a wonderful day. I want to thank my director of photography, Carolyn Essence.
It's gonna sting me. Take it back.